Welcome to another episode of Game Goods, your regular dose of game-centric news and facts. On today's episode, we'll be discussing Nintendo's upcoming classic mini NES console and everything you need to know. Let's get into it. Including 30 built-in NES classics such as Super Mario Bros., Zelda, Metroid, and Castlevania, this small device will be sure to satisfy most looking to play a good selection of NES classics. With HDMI output, included cable, and replica NES controller, it's going to set you back $59 US or $99 in Australia. Now I'm sure there'll be people that'll say, why not just emulate or buy the real thing? Coming from a retro game collector in Australia, NES games and hardware are not cheap, and this is simple. Plus, it will apparently have save states, which is a big plus as a lot of NES games didn't originally, or they have a save battery that would eventually run dry. Just plug it in and you have access to 30 decent NES games without the worry of dodgy emulation, as Nintendo is pretty much spot on with their NES emulation on their devices like the 3DS. If you were going to go out and buy an NES with all those games, it would likely be setting you back around $500 in Australia. Nintendo are actually selling NES games on the 3DS Virtual Console for upwards of $6.50 a piece. If you do the math, that equates to more than $195 for 30 games, whereas the NES Classic Mini packs 30 decent titles for $99 and includes a controller, along with everything you need to plug it into your TV and play. Oh, and the controller port is the same one used on the Wii Remote, so you're definitely going to be able to use the included replica NES controller on Virtual Console titles on your Wii and Wii U. Also, additional controllers can be bought for $9.99 US and $19.95 in Australia respectively. Okay, now that I've gotten that out of the way, I'd like to give my opinions and thoughts. Honestly, I'm surprised they didn't come out with something like this a lot sooner. Sega have licensed companies to make replica Mega Drives, aka Sega Genesis consoles, in the past and have had great success in doing so. It just astonishes me that Nintendo haven't already done this. When this comes out on November 10th in Australia, I guarantee that they're going to fly off the shelves. Even with the markup in Australia, this is still a good buy. I'm just praying they don't pull an amiibo on everyone and not meet the demand. If you can remember back to when amiibos were first released, they were scalped like crazy and people paid ridiculous prices because the supply could not meet the demand. Nintendo sort of did this again with the Pokemon Limited Edition 2DS consoles, which sold out practically straight away. People willingly paid basically whatever the resellers wanted, but of course, like with the amiibos, the interest soon died off. If this isn't one of the hottest selling items of Christmas 2016, I don't know what is going to be, honestly. This is definitely going to appeal to the casual player looking to delve into retro games, as you don't have to fuss about with poor picture quality through AV on a modern television. You just plug it in and it works. That's the main appeal of this product personally. Boy, is Nintendo making some good moves at the moment or what. First Pokemon Go basically taking over the world, and now a retro console reimagined into something that a lot of people are going to want. If Nintendo don't screw up their upcoming console, the NX or whatever it's going to be called, they could honestly once again be the gaming powerhouse they were in the mid to late 80s. At the moment, they're raking in revenue from Pokemon Go, and honestly, the sky's the limit at this point. I can't wait to see what else they bring to the table in the near future. So, to recap, the console's coming out in Australia on the 10th of November, 11th in North America, for a retail price of $59 US and $99 Australian. It will include a controller, HDMI cable, power adapter, and console, so you basically just plug it in and play. There are 30 games in total built in, including such titles as Castlevania, Castlevania 2 Simon's Quest, Super Mario Bros. 1, 2, and 3, Zelda 1 and 2, PAC-MAN, Final Fantasy, Kirby's Adventure, Metroid, Donkey Kong, and Excitebike, just to name a few. Alright, that's the game goods of the day. I hope you've had a wonderful day and a fantastic play of whatever you're currently playing. If you've got suggestions for what you want me to cover in the next video, hit me up on Twitter with the hashtag GameGoods. Feel free to hit that like button really hard. Just don't break your screen, as I won't be held liable for any damages. See you next time.